Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, March 24th, 2016. I'm Laffer Fraser with the details. Director of Airports Corsell Robertson is apologizing to passengers at airports throughout this country for the disruption caused today by a strike action taken by airport workers at the Grantley Adams International Airport, or the GAIA, in Barbados. According to reports, the air traffic controllers are demanding payment of 33 million Barbados dollars in increments dating back to 2016. As a result of their strike action today, all flights in and out of the island were cancelled until 6 p.m. Among the affected carriers here were SVG Air, Mustique Airways, Grenadine Air, as well as regional carrier Liat. In a telephone interview with SVG-TV News, the director of airports noted that the strike action in Barbados significantly affected operations here in SVG and in other countries throughout the region, particularly persons with connecting flights. Robertson expressed hope that passengers would not be penalized by the strike action. She, however, noted that some operations at the airport had already resumed.
Flights from wherever were not allowed to go into Barbados either, so they might be allowed to reschedule maybe another day and not suffer a financial penalty of having to pay for a change ticket, which very often happen to Vincentians when there are flight problems. I have recently checked with my staff. I was initially informed that the closure would have been until 6 p.m., but recent checks indicate that they have restarted some operations from 1 o'clock, but these operations are limited only to commercial flights. So within the region, the scheduled commercial flights that they refer to would be like Caribbean Airlines and Liat only, and the others will be from outside of the region. So they are now allowing that. I am not sure whether they are allowing all that was scheduled to come, like perhaps in the evening, or whether they are just allowing some of them. But I was told they would be allowing flights until 8 o'clock.
Robertson says she empathized with the passengers, whom she said would be very frustrated. She advised them to get in touch with airlines to make rescheduling arrangements.
Society, irrespective of the cause, and it's an inconvenience to passengers, and that inconvenience is deeply regretted. It doesn't matter whether it's something that has to do with a local situation or an external situation. No one wants to affect our country's economy and tourism sector in this way by flight disruptions. And I would like to urge all passengers who may have been inconvenienced, who may have missed their flights, their connections, to get in touch with your airline, whether it's if you're connecting in Barbados, get in touch with the airlines you're connecting with. If it's just Liat, get in touch with Liat and speak to them about rescheduling your flight, and let us see how efficiently we can get this process restarted. And please be patient when dealing with the agents. Most of them have no control over what happens on days like this.
Some of the affected passengers at the E.T. Joshua Airport spoke to SVG-TV News about their frustration over the delay of their flights.
Well, personally, as I said, I'm a trade unionist, so I can't really argue. But I'm not happy. You'll never be happy if you're disrupted. But you could see the reasons for it. Two sides in it, and they've got to get their heads together and sort it out. Because you must always realize that there are two sides to the story. Okay? And hope it comes to a successful conclusion. The hold up and so forth is just part of the game. C'est la vie. Good industrial relations is the key to avoid all the disruptions caused by a strike.
Why aren't we kept informed? Because we could have been at the hotel instead of having to come down here and wait for however long, because it seems we can't get refreshments through on the other side here.
And after a fantastic holiday in St Vincent, that now we're being delayed, but we're hoping that we get through without too much of a delay. We're here with very high quality friends, and we've all had a lovely time, and we're just hoping that the delay is not too bad.
Opposition leader and president of the New Democratic Party, or the NDP, Anim Eustace, is questioning the integrity of the supervisor of elections as her lawyers tried to recant her December 21st, 2015 sworn affidavit 3 weeks later on January 11th, 2016. In an address to the nation on Tuesday, March 22nd, Eustace outlined matters with respect to the elections held in Central Leeward and North Windward on December 9th, 2015, and described the supervisor's actions as grounds for suspicion. He noted that the court has been asked by the lawyers representing the supervisor of elections and the presiding officers to throw out, dismiss, strike out the petitions because they consider that the sureties were not properly referred to when they signed as sureties.
There is nothing so cynical and ultimately so unjust as what the supervisor of elections and others are attempting right now. Rather than allow the petitions to be tried in court on their merits, they are asking the court to throw them out on a technicality so that you, the people, will never see and hear. And the court will never see and hear and consider the body of evidence we have amassed in respect of the petitions. Right now, as I speak, the court has been asked to throw out, dismiss, strike out the petitions because they consider that the sureties were not properly referred to when they signed the sureties. In other words, by reason of absolutely nothing related to the facilitation of the democratic process or democratic expression of the will of the people, they seek to suppress it.
Unsatisfied with the conduct of the December 9th, 2015 general elections, Eustace says his party will stage numerous forms of protest to activate their move for justice.
We do not accept that we must abandon what is just and fair for the sake of peace. Peace is simply not achievable that way. That is instead the direct route to suppression and dictatorship, lawlessness and inequality. I say to you, the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, that the path to peace is justice. Over the coming days and weeks, we shall be engaging in various and vigorous forms of protest in relation to the acts and omissions of the supervisor of elections, Mrs. Fendi Scrub, and the returning officer, Mr. Games, in the conduct of this election. You, the people, are at least as deserving of the rigorous standard of elections in true democracies. As such, we shall expect nothing less. Thank you very much.
Commissioner of Police Michael Charles praised the Pan Against Crime initiative for making communities safer by engaging persons, particularly the youth, in positive recreational activities and away from crime and violence. Speaking at a recent Pan Against Crime rally in Barely, which showcased the talent of a number of youth clubs and steel bands across the country, the commissioner says that no community can afford the costs of violence, adding that a healthier, safer community benefits each Vincentian, and failing to act can cost us lives and resources. The Pan Against Crime initiative was first conceptualized by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves 8 years ago. Today, there are now over 11 steel orchestras and 23 police youth groups created under the initiative, aimed at keeping youth and community members away from a life of drug abuse, crime, and violence. Commissioner Charles says he is proud that the RSVG police force is associated with the initiative and pledged the organization's continued support to ensure its longevity.
There's a whole saying that the devil find work for idle hands. So, with the Pan Against Crime and the Police Youth Club, our youths are no longer idle. They have something to do. One thing we know for sure about the Police Youth Club, we can use it as a springboard. The members of the Police Youth Club can step on to be members of the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force, and we also have some members who come up through the Police Youth Club. So, as Commissioner of Police, I am giving the commitment that the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force will stand wholly behind the Pan Against Crime initiative We will support this program 100%.
Inspector Hawkins Nanton at the Public Relations Department says participation by youth in the activities associated with the Pan Against Crime program can reduce self-destructive behavior.
And you know that pan music has gone deep in every Vincentian, and without any exception, the program has touched almost every home across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So right now, we see the youths from the age of 2-3 years, they are learning to play the pan. The elderly, they are learning to play the pan. And as a result of that, what you find is that the youths across St. Vincent and the Grenadines, they are engaged in something that is positive. They are engaged in a positive activity. So when they get home from school, rather than go and indulge in something that can lead to some sort of crime or some sort of activity that is negative, they are engaged in something that is positive, something that is uplifting.
At the concert in Barely, there were a number of performances by the participants of the program. Here's a highlight.
Here we go. I see the sunrise over the horizon and I'm grateful.
Our community is fond of fishing and give Barely people a way of living. Whenever our men go out to fish, we look forward to a tasty dish.
Hey baby, don't you bring them tears, 'cause it's too late, baby. Oh, you're only love me when you're here. So to face, baby. Oh,
When the music fades and all's are stripped away, and I simply come, longing just to bring something of worth that will bless your heart.
The next celebratory Pan Against Crime concert will be held this Sunday on the Calico playing field from 4:30 p.m. Wanted man Raphael Snakey O'Neill has been captured and is now in police custody. The police say O'Neill, who is from Vermont, was wanted in connection with a series of burglaries. As family, friends, and other well-wishers prepare to say goodbye to the late Ayanna Findlay, who died earlier this week from renal failure or kidney disease, SVG-TV News takes a look at how the 24-year-old had served as an inspiration to many Vincentians. Nikita Tony has more in this report.
Kind, determined, vibrant, talented, and strong. A few words used to describe the late Ayanna Findlay, who parted ways with this life last Friday, March 18, 2016. Remembered as the young woman who fought the good fight, the 24-year-old has left a lasting impression on not only her family and friends, but as many would put it, she has created an appreciation for persons living with kidney disease among Vincentians here at home and abroad. Noting that Ayanna was an obedient child, her father, Emroy Findlay, said that throughout the years of illness, Ayanna remained strong and patient as she battled whatever came her way, gaining recognition for her bravery and strength.
She come out good. She come out real good. I mean, it's hard for Lucy at this early age because Ayanna had great intention. Plus, she had about 8 surgery in her life, but she had the willing spirit to move on. She trained hard before go back to school for
finish accounts, because accounts papers we should black out pan and faint and black out and then finish. But Ayana was a strong young lady, determined. In whatever she be, don't care. I may tell you, you can't have this. Ayana, don't care what, she ain't giving up.
Finley expressed his amazement at the support which Ayana received during her struggles with her illness.
And I must thank God for blessing us with all them people that He used to bless us with. She get more famous than me, she know more people than me and everything. All the school friends and everything. I never know she had so much people didn't recognize the ability and she had potential and things. I never know that so much people, but after she died, you really see the true color of Ayana. You really see. But God knows best. Like I say, I hope she makes her part right and she in heaven rejoicing.
Mother of the deceased, Nicole Lee Homer, expressed her appreciation for persons who gave selflessly towards Ayana and encouraged her along the way.
In the hospital, dialysis unit, friends overseas. Instead of in Trinidad, the hospital and everything in Trinidad, I just want to give everybody thanks. And we still need people help because we have Ayana now to bury. She wasn't in any society because of she's sickness. So we want person to help so that she could get a good burial.
Managing Director of Health Solutions Inc., Pauline De Freitas, noted that even though Ayana was the youngest of all her patients, she was indeed a true advocate for kidney patients and kidney disease.
Ayana definitely wasn't fearful to let the community know what she was going through. She let the population that was following her, anyone in St. Vincent that was following her through social media or personally, she showed people what the challenges of being a kidney failure patient is. But she also showed the good days as well. We're so keen on to focusing the negative aspect, but Ayana had some great days. Ayana made great communication. She made great strides in the community. The community also reached out to her because they realized she had true passion within her for this population going through this type of medical issue.
Proving that one must be strong and willing to take life as it is with a determination to make the best of every situation, Ayana's attitude has and will continue to inspire many. She is expected to be laid to rest on Saturday, April 9th, 2016. Reporting for SVG-TV News, I am Nikita Tony.
Our news team also caught up with some other persons who shared what they would remember most about Ayana.
Her disposition. It didn't matter what she was going through. She always had a smile on her face. She was always happy. It's as if she really wasn't ailing. It's really sad. We have lost a good person. Somebody who was able to bring a whole nation together, so to speak, just by virtue of, what she was doing, even for herself. She was raising funds and she got a lot of people on board with her.
Ayana was a free-spirited girl. She took every day as it came. On days where she had great days, great weeks, great months, Ayana was great. She was happy. She was alive. She was living. Very free-spirited, very and kind. She knew that with her illness she had to face issues. Issues came on. Every issue that came, she basically took it on headstrong, and she knew that she had to fight it.
I miss talking to she sometimes I get stressful, when it gets stressful schoolwork and stuff, you talk to she and ask she about certain questions and stuff. And it's a conversation we used to laugh about childhood and look at childhood TV shows and listen childhood music and stuff. I miss she because it's my only biological sister, and me and she was the only two girls, so I'm the only girl now.
As Vincentians prepare for a long Easter weekend, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves is asking citizens to be cautious and exercise care when partaking in the holiday activities. While commenting on the recent drowning of a secondary school student earlier this week at a media conference, Dr. Gonsalves made the appeal for persons traveling by sea or even just enjoying a day at the beach to take the necessary precautions while having fun.
Asking people, please, I know people drink. And this wasn't the case with Kimron, but you have had situations before that people drink, they go inside of the water, they can't coordinate themselves properly. let's exercise a little care. I mean, we're a small community, just 110,000 people. You know, when lives are lost like this, I tell you, it pains me greatly. It's as though I've lost somebody close to me as my family. Because we are basically one village. We're a nation, but we are a small community. Let us try to see if we don't have any of these unfortunate incidents happening at the sea. And a lot of people go to bathe. Try to stay away from places which are dangerous for swimming. Make sure that you can swim. Don't be too adventurous.
Reflecting on his own experience in a motor vehicular accident on the Easter weekend a few years ago, the Prime Minister called on motorists and pedestrians to take their time while traveling on the roads for a much anticipated busy weekend.
Let's try. I'm making this appeal. I know that some of the persons who may drive recklessly on the road and drink and drive, not listening to me. They might even hear this, but I'm asking you in the media to help to push from today. Let's push on the radio stations and the talk show hosts and the stations, the DJs, the fellows who play music on the radio, different people may listen to, or the people in the minibuses. Please, the drivers, all kinds of vehicles, let's just take it easy on the road. Let us be very careful, and let us see if this weekend, well, as I say, from Thursday evening to Tuesday morning, if we can come out of this without any accident at all on the road.
Two of the main speakers of a conference to be held here this weekend spoke to SVG-TV earlier today on the sessions to be held, which include a family seminar on Friday, March 25th at the Hope for Life Restoration Church at 5 p.m. and a men's conference on Saturday 26th at 9 a.m. at the French's House. Dana Thompson, one of the international speakers for the Project Men 2020 seminar, said that he would be talking about divine enterprise as well as the importance of technology with relation to ministry, and Sam Solin said he would be talking about the reconstruction of human society.
Excited to be addressing the topic of divine enterprises, talking about how men can implement divine ideas that God has given them, and as a result see the fruit of their labor as the Lord allows them to rest, to see the fruit of their labor by using the wisdom of God to implement those ideas, and also how technology, which we're here today as a result of, plays a big part in that.
In this conference, our principal purpose is to speak about the restoration of human culture to mirror what God has made man to be. So we're here to talk about, not only talk about the differences in perspective, but most appropriately to talk about how do we restructure human society and what is the role of the church in restructuring human society so we move away from the culture of the orphan and move to the culture of sonship.
Dana and Rose Thompson outlined the impact they want the conference to have on Vincentians and how they think it will be beneficial and uplifting for persons who attend. They stated that it would not only help persons understand their true identity and purpose, but also will help women understand their true value.
To understand the responsibility of women in the kingdom, to first come to know her value. When she comes to understand that she is meant to be a son, functioning in the kingdom of God, she will then know her value.
Persons to grasp that no matter what society brings, and no matter what troubles come your way, unless you go back to the original blueprint of Scripture, which was God's original thought and intent, that as a whole, it would just be a band-aid if we try to address it from top to top without laying a foundation. I believe that my perspective would be people will go away understanding what their identity is, what their actual purpose is, and also what's their destiny. I believe it would be a great conference that would instill not only faith but hope, that would anchor the souls of people.
Easter is celebrated by Christians worldwide as the day of the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and SVG Television's news team today spoke to a number of persons in capital Kingstown to hear what Easter means to them and what plans they have to celebrate the holiday weekend.
So that Christ died for us, raised from the dead. He lives in for me. I don't know for nobody else. Let me tell you, I hate you and a helpless when you cooking and this baking and everything. People doing for me, but all I do now is lie down, read my Bible, meditate, listen to good preaching and everything like that.
The crucifixion of Jesus Christ, and we're supposed to respect the day because Christ crucified for us. If it was not for Jesus Christ, we would not have been here. He crucified and he raised again. He is alive and live with our Father in heaven, making intercession for us. Plan is for Easter is for just go to church and praise God because there is nothing else to look for but just to praise God and give God thanks because I'm alive to Him.
Well, growing up church-wise, it was a nice time of year, a long holiday, and disciple Christ in the season. So, yeah, not really doing much. Going football tomorrow, walking Saturday, nothing Sunday. Going on a trip Monday. That's about it.
No, I was interested, but now I'm not interested in things again. Well, I'll be relaxing and so on, and do what I have to do. If I have any work to do, I will do it, and so on and so forth.
I grew up as a little boy in St. Vincent here. It's kind of, we have religious background, so we have religious beliefs. People go to church, some people go picnic. I myself, my opinion about Easter, I use it to rock back with my friends, go cook something, you know what I mean, and enjoy. Remember Christ too, we grew up in the church. I remember Christ laid down his life for sin and for sinners, so we could have a better way and a better tomorrow.
Well, the Easter is just about fun, and I'm just going to relax. Going to relax home and take it easy, drink coffee and just relax myself. And everybody must take it easy because around this time you'll have a lot of things happen, especially on the beach and so. Yeah.
Well, Easter is the time when we look at what Jesus would have done for us, you know, on the cross of Calvary. But the good thing is he was rose, he has risen from the dead, and you know he's alive and well. Well, for the Easter I'll be out part of it for church conference, so I'm hoping that everything goes well and that people really take it seriously and do something about their lives in terms of serving Christ.